What's going on, guys? Rich here. So today's video, I'm going to take you through some of my past couple weeks of training and some of the benchmarks that I've been training toward along the way. And this is just a general training that I've been doing leading into the season for HYROX. So I've been really focusing on strength, but also putting in a lot of aerobic work and sprinkling in a bit of speed. I also had the DEKAFIT event that was kind of part of this training block, and you can check that out in a previous video, a full race recap of what happened over in New Jersey. But this is just going to be much more around the training and kind of the results that I got from the training. So in this video, we're going to go over the exact numbers that I hit in back squat, deadlift, and in a 5K run, and some of the specific workouts that got me there along the way. So before we get started, hit me with a like, hit me with a subscribe, and let's just get into it. All right, so just right off the jump, the three benchmarks that I've kind of been working toward, as mentioned before, are the deadlift, the back squat, and the 5K. So I had about an 8-week block of training that kind of led me to this point. So then I had a test week last week. So just want to kind of share some results that I got from that. So let's look at the deadlift first. So as I've been building up, this was 405. I was really excited to put this on the bar and lift that beast up. So it's the first time I ever had 4 plates on there. Pretty decent on the way up. Not the greatest looking deadlift on the way up, but it was as heavy as I've ever done. So 405 is definitely a place where I wanted to be. My previous 1 rep this year was in February, and that was like 365. I'm sorry. So it was 365. Leading up to this is 405. Huge improvement. Really excited about the deadlift. And so I took some tests, rest the week, and then tested again on Friday. This is back squat. So this is 315. I ended up hitting 325 with some spotters, and that was certainly my 1 rep, but I was real happy to get this full depth. A little crooked, knees coming in on the way up, but again, this is just heavy, and typically I don't lift with a belt, but today and on the deadlift day, I decided that the belt was going to be really kind of necessary for the 1 reps. And with OCR stars around the corner, there's going to be a 1 rep max deadlift. So I'm definitely going to wear a belt for the 1 rep max deadlift. So just getting used to using that in training. I don't like to train with it. I don't want to become dependent on it. And for our sport, where we're going to need to be able to move through space and pick things up, we're going to need to learn how to kind of brace our core. So I don't typically use a belt, but for 1 rep max lift, I'm going to use a belt because I think it helps. And then later that week, so Monday was deadlift, Friday was back squat, and then I did a 5K on Sunday that I was able to jump in. So here are my splits from that 5K. I was able to, I was in a race, so we went out in 504, second mile was 5 flat, and then I was 506 and change, and finished in 1546 flat. It was 1545 on the chip results, which I'm taking. So overall, these 3 different markers I'm really happy about, and it's really kind of proof of concept when it comes to the training. I mean, this is not a PR in my 5K, but anytime I can be under 15, it means I'm in pretty decent shape. I'm sorry, under 16, I'm in pretty decent shape. My PR last year is 1504 is what I ran last year, and that's actually a lifetime PR. And so being 40 seconds off of that without any really specific 5K training is really encouraging. And also, it's worth noting, in previous videos I did kind of lay out how I'm planning on bulking up a little bit and putting in a muscle building phase. And when I ran this, I was 178. Last year I was 163, I think I was. So 15 pounds and only 40 seconds of less time is like really exciting for me. So I think that there's definitely room to improve here. Again, going into OCR stars, there's going to be a 3-mile run to start things off. I would love to be under 5 minutes for that and being able to pull about as much as I did with the 405. So that's really where I'm at right now. So really excited about that. And here, I'm just going to show you some of the workouts now that kind of got me to this place and just kind of the general overview of what that was really looking like. So let's start with the general strength that I kind of went after. So I pretty much did 2 days of real strength per week. I would maybe sprinkle in a 3rd day of some accessory work or some pressing work, mostly upper body and core stuff. But Tuesday, Friday were my main, or Monday, Thursday were my main lifting days, and this is pretty much the same format. This is just a random day that I picked out to kind of show what it all looked like, with some warm-ups, and then I would get into, so this was kind of the 5-3-1 plan. This was on the middle week. This is on the middle day, the middle week, so it was 3 reps, 3 by 3 reps, and the last was a max set, and I used a stop pause rep scheme on this, which is on the last set here, I was at 90% of my perceived 1 rep, which is about 10% less of what my 1 rep would be for this specific one. You just really want to make sure that I was getting the maximum amount of progression with this. So I didn't want to like hit a plateau and just be bumping up against it the whole time. So I wanted to make sure I was hitting these lifts. So that's why I came under a little under where I thought I would be for my 1 rep. But you do a max set for that last set, and then you rest 30 seconds, do another max set, and then rest 30 seconds and do another max set. It's just a great way to add volume to the end of your lifts. A lot of times the 5-3-1 program is going to end with a max set, but if you wanted to add a little bit more volume to it, which is helpful, especially when you are kind of in that lower, like a little bit less than what you think you should be shooting for. So I love this. I thought this was super good. I really enjoyed doing that. I did this for the deadlifts and for the squats, both the exact same style of sets and reps. And then I would just add volume on the back squat. On my back squat day, I would do volume of deadlift and then some weighted strict pull-ups. I was also kind of working in 5-3-1 on one day, and then another day I was just doing volume with weighted strict pull-ups into sets of 10 and 12. Some dips of what I've been on croc rows for some grip and rowing strength. Some core stuff, and then I've been doing the MSP lunges still. I kind of fell off those for a little bit because they're pretty demanding. They make me pretty sore, and I just like don't love doing them at the end. But I'm starting to pick that back up and enjoying them again. So again, these are all pretty similar workouts, and this will be in the Reinforced Training group, the group training program for any reinforced running athletes who want to join. You can check out the link down there in the bio. This is very similar type of strength training structure that would be set out for that. So this is what I really just did for a 8-week block or so, where I went through 5-3-1, took a down week, 5-3-1 again, and then I was able to kind of test out. So that worked tremendously well. And again, that was about 2 days a week. And maybe 1 day of some accessory work in there as well. And I'd always finish with some sort of aerobic work. So I still did a lot of aerobic dosages throughout the week. I'd probably have some sort of aerobic piece in every part of every day. So I would usually do this workout, and then some either do directly after, do 50 to 75 minutes of just easy aerobic work, if that was running, if that was on the bike, if that was on the rower, something to make sure that I was getting that aerobic work in. And then for the running stuff, I had a couple of different options for that, and I'm just going to talk specifically about the running workouts now. So this is just an example of a pretty straightforward threshold workout that I would do, where I would just do 3 to 4 by mile at my perceived threshold pace. I usually end up pushing a little bit faster than this pace that's generally prescribed here. It was usually between 5:25 and 5:29. So I'd kind of be in that 5:18 to 5:20. I don't know if that was beneficial or not. Maybe been overreaching a little bit, but still was able to hit them with the minute recovery. And for these, you really just want to make sure that you're able to recover in that minute, and you're not like losing the ability to hit or maintain that pace. You kind of want to be steady pace, if not getting a little bit faster throughout these workouts. But for the sake of this, it's really where I wanted to be. I mean, the idea is to improve your lactic tolerance, but I mean, if you're not going to prick yourself and take a blood sample each time, we really don't know, and the heart rate doesn't really do the trick when it comes to that. So you need to kind of be perceived and like kind of feel that anaerobic take over a little bit, but being able to kind of push it back. So this is really what I just did. A couple weeks. I think I only did 3 of these workouts over the course of 8 weeks, and then the other workouts were the DEKAFIT specific workouts that I did kind of put together 5 to 7 weeks of those workouts. So let's look at those. So the first one was very much based around speed and going just hard and working my anaerobic power for the sprints here. So it would be 5 rounds, 250 skier, pretty much as hard as I could, 15 calories on the assault bike, as hard as I could, and then sprinting for 200 meters. I'd rest about 2.5 to 3 minutes and would just repeat that. So this is really about building that anaerobic ability, like allowing my body to produce that lactate so that eventually I could put that into something a little bit more race specific. So this was a butt kicker. And then I would progress it. So it'd be at 5, then I went to 7, then I went to 8, and then I brought things back down and added a little bit more onto each of the implements as I went down. So I did 300-meter ski, 20 assault cows, and I think I still stuck with the 3-minute, with the 200-meter run. So that was extremely hard, but it was easy to hit because it was short. The workouts that really kind of gave me trouble were more of these race-specific workouts for DEKAFIT. So this is almost like a sim that I was doing. I did 2 of these workouts in the 3 weeks out and 2 weeks out from the actual DEKAFIT event. So they were longer and with less rest. So 400-meter run, 500-meter row, 400-meter run, and I would just kind of alternate between. I did the rowing, and then I did the ski erg, and then I did the assault bike. So I wanted to put the assault bike last and have it double because that's really hard. It's the hardest part of a DEKAFIT is this assault bike. You're pretty exhausted by zone 7, and being able to run after the thing is probably the most important zone. So I wanted to put a focus on that. And the implements are really where you're going to make or break the race. Like if you have a tough time on the rower or the skier, you could lose a ton of time, as opposed to, like, I have some substitutions here like wall ball sit-ups or reverse lunges. You're not going to lose a ton of time there. Like there's not a great way to do those that are going to gain you 30 seconds, but the row and the ski it might, and the assault bike it might. So this workout was really hard if I had to do it again. So you see how I was alternating things. So it was 30 seconds rest, and then after that it would be 60 seconds rest. I would actually put longer rest periods in between everything. So 60 and 90, 60 and 90. So I kind of underestimated this workout, where I just screwed up the pacing, which I think is more likely. I just went a little bit too hard too early and was trying to maintain race pace, where I probably should have been a little bit slower than race pace or perceived race pace on the row, on the ski, and on the assault bike, just to make sure, just so I can get that volume in and just work on my be able to express my aerobic capacity, my aerobic power, and like wait until I have to hang out with the anaerobic. I think I just got a little anaerobic too quick on this, and it kind of set me under, or I wasn't able to have that anaerobic tolerance built up at that point. So that is really what the workouts were looking like on the endurance end of things. And leading into the next couple of weeks, I am going to be preparing specifically for OCR stars. So I'm going to be putting in a lot more of speed work, a lot more anaerobic work on the running to make sure that I'm ready for that 5K. I'm going to just kind of fine tune things for the deadlift, do some more weighted pull-ups, work on some dead hang stuff. And it's only about 4 or 5 weeks out, so there's not a ton I can do. And I might introduce a couple Metcons just so I'm a little fresh on those. Things like anticipating dumbbell snatches, toes to bar, box jump overs, burpees, all those things to make sure that I'm covering my bases. So that's really what this week, this last training block looked like. Again, I'm extremely happy with how things are playing out. It's just proof of concept, and that you can get stronger while maintaining or getting faster even, because I ran a 5K in early August 12th, and this one I did October 3rd. So what is that, 6 weeks or so? And that one I ran 16:04, and I weighed 174. And then in October I weighed 178 and ran 15:45. So again, it's just proof of concept here. There's a lot of things going on, building strength, trying to keep endurance going, doing a lot of aerobic work in there to help prop up that running speed and to help maintain your aerobic fitness while you're getting stronger. So it can work. It's working. It can work. That's what we're doing here with the hybrid fitness. That's what I'm sure that's what you're trying to get after if you watch this video all the way to the end to make sure that you're getting it. So props to you. Let's keep this thing rolling. Let's see how fast we can get and how strong we can be. All right, so if you like this video, hit me with a like, hit me with a subscribe. Again, check out the Reinforced Training Group. We have all sorts of strength and running workouts just like this built in. It's $29 a month. You can do a 7-day free trial just to check things out. And the best part is that you can have different training programs that you can add into the template, so you can really customize things even further. So you get 7 days of workouts plus all these different workout training plans in the library, all for just one low price. So check that out, and I'll talk to you soon.